abandoned children. 2 weeks ago, Barrister Mbeseha, if you remember, these were, major reports that flooded into the newsroom. Most of these reports had links to girls that were raped, girls that were forced into, of course, raped by soldiers, La Republic de Cameroon soldiers, and all of that. Several reports points out to girls who do not know how to take care of these babies based on their poverty level, based on the fact that they do not know how the next meal or where the next meal is coming from, or how they can even survive themselves, not to talk of the babies. I can remember one of such instances where the mother of one of such babies were abandoned. And when this girl was actually said, she knows that when she abandons this baby along the roadside, a good Samaritan will pick the baby up. More like what we see in those fiction movies and read in the books. But funny enough, it's happening. In other climes, there are better structures for pregnant girls and all of that. But here in Ambazonia, this is the case. This is just about the third of this case we are handling this week. It's pathetic because school is not even an option due to all of these challenges we are facing. Barrister Fu, how shocked are you?
I am very shocked, but the good thing is that that baby is alive. The mother kept the baby where somebody would see it. We thank God for that. That's a precious Ambazonian that would have gone unnoticed. But now he is in the hands of the medical people. Having said that, the collapse of the economy of the southern Cameroons started a long time ago, by 1972, when La République de Cameroon dismantled all our economic live wires. The Cameroon Bank was taken and destroyed. The Produce Marketing Board was taken and destroyed. Even the farmers' cooperatives was taken and destroyed. The seaports were destroyed. The airports were destroyed. They did everything to destroy whatever was responsible for our economic live wire. They have destroyed CDC. They have destroyed palm They have destroyed everything that concerns the southern Cameroons and Ambazonia. Ambazonia, after 1972, did not have an economy of its own. It was La Republique's economy. Ambazonia had no economy. All what is happening is La Republique has collapsed. Its economy has collapsed due to a senseless war that they declared on the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And we have been fighting this war for 8 years. Can you imagine a collapsed economy in war for 8 years? How do you expect these young children to live? Some go and get unwanted pregnancies. They don't know what is going to happen with the pregnancy. The issue of abandonment of children did not start today. It started long ago when La Republique collapsed our economy. And it is not only a phenomenon for Ambazonia, it's a phenomenon for all of La Republique du Cameroon. And all we are praying and fighting and talking about, drafting and doing all what we can do to free our homeland so that we can organize our economy and bring back the life that our children deserve, our grandchildren deserve. That is where we are. It is pathetic. It is annoying because all this is the responsibility of La République du Cameroon because they collapsed our economy and unleashed a war on us, and we have no way of survival. I don't know whether morally I can blame that child who abandoned the child, because I call her a child because she found herself in a situation where she cannot bring up a child. She did not commit murder. She came and abandoned it somewhere near to the Catholic Church where somebody will see it. And I am hoping that with all the homeless children's homes around Ambazonia. They will take care of this young Ambazonian to grow and become a responsible Ambazonian. There is nothing. I mean, it is untenable. It is difficult for Ambazonian citizens to have 1 meal a day since La République du Cameroon did what they did to us in 2017 by declaring this senseless war. They had collapsed our economy and declared the war, and it made and we had no economy of our own. So the economy of Ambazonia is the economy of La République du Cameroon, and they should take responsibility, accountability for all what is happening to our people. They have murdered our people. They have murdered more than 70,000. They have burned our villages. They have done their worst on our people. And now our children are the collateral damages of this war and the collapsed economy of La République du Cameroon. They have to take responsibility. They have done what they look. Onye, La République du Cameroon takes its economy from our territory. All the natural resources that La République du Cameroon is relying on now to stealing and banking abroad is the oil and gas in our territory and other minerals that they are exploiting, because they are fighting this war and we don't have the means to stop them from exploiting the natural resources that are in our territory. The only arm we have is civil disobedience, ghost towns every Monday. And that will continue until La République is on its knees. And this October, I'll see how they will survive this October. I'm not a prophet, but I'm watching to see how La République will survive this coming October. Because we got to be free by October. We must do everything to get out of this quagmire by October. And I know, and God willing, La République cannot survive the month of October 2025. And this economy that our children are suffering, we have a moral duty to immediately embark on rebuilding the economy to allow our children go to school normally and get married and have children normally, and the children are brought up, instead of allowing them. Soldiers are raping them. All kinds of people are raping them and taking no responsibility. That this child that delivered this child may not have had any means of bringing up the child. She had no other choice but to keep it where some other people would take. That is my take.
Would come back. Would come back. This is just one of the so many issues we are going to handle today. So just hold your emotions there. Would come back. Barrister Mbeseha. Barrister Phil thinks that it's all about the emotional, I beg your pardon, the economic, downside of Ambazonia. That is why all of this is happening. But this is the third report we are seeing this with. Do you think that the parents in any way can be blamed for this, or you would want to go with the route of Barrister Phil?
Well, thank you. I'm not sure that it is all about the economy. See, there's a lot into that story. Not the economy. It shows the social failure of the whole system. Why? Because that pregnancy, we don't know who it is that was pregnant with the baby. Boy, aged, full-grown woman, or an underage girl. Either way, it was unwanted pregnancy. That's why the child is thrown away. Unwanted, why? Because someone raped you. That is possible. You just went out for enjoyment with a rare adult and got pregnant. That is possible. But the bottom line is, he did not want that child. That's why the child is dumped there. Should this ever be the case? No. Because in Ambazonia and in Cameroon in particular, whereas a rapist, if I rape you, I can be punished. I can go to jail. If I could sleep with that underage girl, I can be punished, I can go to jail. There's no sentence for the victim, the woman who is raped. There's no punishment for the underage girl who gets pregnant. And so you have this protection already. All what you need is education. And this education has failed. It has failed woefully because the government has not provided what it needs. Where that child was dumped is very, very telling. Dumped near a church. Because the person who did it knew that somebody would pass there and pick the child. Why the church? Because even in Ambazonia, the church ran orphanages. They don't need many. If there's an orphanage, for example, in Kumbo, that child from Boya will end up there and will be given the best treatment. And so that is a social structure provided in terms of Ambazonia, already there. That should not frighten you. But above all, not everybody goes to church. Our girls and our women and whoever should be educated about these things. I don't imagine that mother who gave birth to that child, where she was just 10 years old, 12 years old, or she was 50 or 60. She didn't want the pregnancy. But we all come from social structures. We all come from African families. If she did not need that child, an aunt of hers, an uncle, a niece would have carefully brought up the child. So this should be ruled out of dumping children, abandoning them at their own fate. Yeah, we press her for leaving the child there. But that was not the least, that was the least secure place where you could leave a newborn child. And so it's a total failure of the system. If the system does not want to criminalize all those things, or even if it does, it is the responsibility of the children. No matter what laws you put there will be unwanted pregnancies, and they are all over the world. No matter what laws you put there, underage children will get sex and get pregnant. And so the system must provide for them. Provide for those circumstances when they come up. And so if you don't provide, as it is not provided in Cameroon, we have said, for example, the story is so much even in the so-called people of Cameroon. Why? Because I think they have the Ministry of Women and whatever affairs they have over there. What are these ministries doing? And so we should try to educate our own children, our own women, because only women get pregnant. So if you find yourself in that circumstance, don't be scared. Don't try to take the life of the child. Because she was lucky to have given birth to her child. She could have died in labor. Because what she went through, perhaps, she was not even following the prenatal care. And so we need education. Women in particular, especially in child abandonment. Grow up with your parents. Grow up in a family where such things, though not honored, you will not be exposed. You are not going to be expelled from the family circle just because you give birth to a child. At least a mother will be in that family who will take care of that child. At the very least, if they cannot do it, we still have church organizations that have orphanages that will take care of those structures. Why we wait? Because orphanages operate. In West Cameroon, they were there. And they were subsidized by the state. Because they are doing a good job. If the government cannot run an orphanage, a church, be it a Catholic church, a Protestant church, only organized church can do it. And so we should stop this idea of abandoning our own children. Because behind every adult, behind every president, behind every most powerful man in the world, lies the beginning through childhood. We don't know what that baby could have become or will become. The child is still alive. So when you throw away that child, you might be throwing away the future president. You may throw away the future best doctor, the future professor that you will find in your life. And so that should be discouraged. It should not be allowed to happen. The system has failed, and given the opportunity, we will make amends. We will not forget that those circumstances will always arise. It is the responsibility of government, I've said, to make provisions for that. Because no law will prevent children from getting pregnant. They will reduce the number. We cannot eliminate it. We cannot reduce the number. And so our parents who have these children should educate their children. If you get into this trouble, tell your mother, tell your foster mother, tell your daddy, tell somebody in the family who will be taken care of. And so that is what I can contribute for that for lack of time. I let go.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister Mbeseha. Over the week, there was also areas where you thought that the economy failed. Commander Elvis, so Barrister Phil thinks that the economy has failed these young girls. Barrister Mbeseha thinks that is the social angle that has failed. Merging all of this together, what would your point and idea or opinion be about this particular case?
Oh, thank you very much, Onye. And I really do appreciate the contributions of Barrister Blazer and Buffer. I totally agree with the barristers on that point, because at this point we are at war and it is total chaos. Of course, it is part of our war strategy to make sure that the enemy does not sustain any economic activities that would continue to generate wealth for them, while they use that same wealth to punish our people. Right? They for the past 8 years, none of those councils, as you know, councils are responsible for taxation, is functioning. There is no those La Republic governors that have been sent there have been sent with specific missions to extort. And even the tax that were collected was not used to develop the areas and the population. Our people are desperately under great economic stress. We are fighting this because we understand that that system has to be uprooted. And to uproot that system, there is going to be a lot of tension. There's going to be a lot of inconvenience for some people that already found comfort in these establishments. However, we would have to uproot that taproot and rebuild the structure, just like I mentioned previously, for which investors supported. The structure like the one you find in the United States of America, where we have a democratic country that has freedoms of liberty, that has laws debated in parliament to be implemented, and ideas that are innovative. We would not be following a system that continues to, send extortionists in the name of colonial administrators into our territory. Again, the reason I started with that kind of similarity between the Amazonians and the Americans was simply because yesterday was a great occasion to celebrate the independence of a great nation, and that came alongside all those freedoms. Um, this structure that we now have in place with La Republique is one that we have to entangle ourselves from, and that is one of the freedoms that we are fighting for. It is actually worth dying for. And for the service and sacrifice of our great men and heroes that have gone before us, we cannot relent. We need to make sure that we fight hard and we build while fighting to dismantle those crooked institutions, that we also build those strong institutions that our forefathers have also enshrined in us. The likes of Mr. Eric Ate, may his soul rest in peace. The likes of my Indele. These are some of our great heroes now that had their vision, that planted the seed, but it's up to us now to continue to water that seed and never let it die. Believe in their dreams, believe in their aspirations, fight hard to make sure that all these tap roots that La Republique has planted in us are completely uprooted. Thank you again, Onye, for that question, and I'll yield back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Commander Elvis. And so this is not, when we talk about emotional stories like this is just one or half compared to all of the other pain and struggles that Ambazonians have to go through.